Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are back again today with another episode of Reunion Station. You got myself, Chad Graves. I've got my guy, Dave Spannhake here. And we are joined today by a man who tears up the airline miles more than anyone I've ever seen in my life. And I'll tell you, that's coming from somebody who travels. But man, the myth, the legend today, the CEO of RevDojo, Kyle Disher, here today to share all the awesome things that he's doing with dealerships.
Excited to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Kyle, we've known you, actually not as long as some of the other folks that we know in the space, but we have become very fast friends. Maybe speak a little bit to our relationship. We love RevDojo. We love everything you guys are doing. Reunion of RevDojo. Your thoughts?
You know what's funny? Obviously, I have a good relationship. Thank you for having me on the show today. And advertising agencies, just for whatever reason, kind of become some of our best customers, if you want to call it that. We deal with a lot of dealers too. The unique thing about advertising agencies, though, no offense if you're a dealer watching, the first thing you do it from 6 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the morning, if things get funky, you call and you spaz on your agency, right? Mm-hmm. And then a lot of agencies use us as the safety net, and they just go, okay, Mr. Dealer, Mrs. Dealer, I know your close rates aren't exactly where you want to be. Let me do a complimentary mystery shop for you. Or let me send in somebody that can maybe help you with the close rate. So our entry point into a lot of dealerships, I'm at Hudson today. They gave me a shirt.
Awesome.
52 stores. I met these guys through an advertising agency.
Very cool.
And just because we have a lot of tools to kind of help find out what the problem is, then we have tools to help dealers fix it.
Awesome. Well, just as a reminder of what this is, we like to pick out some of the best out there in the industry, who are folks that do great work like Reunion does and complementary work to it. So I think people often talk the most about your LMS system. So maybe in like a minute or two, learning management software. How does that help dealers? And share some of the differentiators, why you're different, and how your dealers are benefiting from the partnership.
Yeah, for sure. And I may be able to tell about the whole company in a minute or two in addition to the LMS. So LMS, I used to be like, what the heck is that? Until we built one.
Yeah.
Learning management system for those, it's kind of like Netflix with videos. And we changed the name of the company about 2 years ago. It was called Webinar Inc.
Okay.
And we changed the name because when we first started with dealers, we just did webinars. That was the only real training that we did. We were getting tons of traction, getting a lot of dealers on webinars. And then dealers were like, hey, the webinars are good, the live webinars are good, but can you record these and stick them in a library for our folks that can't make them? And at the time, we also started doing mystery shops. Mm-hmm. And the reason why we made our own learning management system, Netflix with testing, is because we couldn't find another learning management system out there that could do recorded content, live webinars, and host the files that we needed, like the mystery shops.
Very cool.
So about a decade ago, we just started building our own. So what we do for dealers virtually, mystery shop, live webinars, and then we have that one recorded content portal that all the stuff is housed on.
Man, that's awesome. It's a ton. And as we've tried to embrace our own learning management system, I'm not the number one user of our learning management system. I wish I was. Probably should be.
CRO never is.
That's how it goes. I have to admit your faults, right? But I'll tell you, I think it's such a great resource for dealerships and knowing some clients that work with you. I hear how often they're able to go back and use it. But I do want to point out the mystery shops too. Because I think we're in a time today where a lot of dealers, I think, or at least I'm hearing in our conversations, are kind of being honest that hey, we got to get back to playing ball a little bit, right? This is not 2020 where we're just selling cars off of an order form, right? And so can you tell us a little bit about, are you seeing the same thing with dealers kind of getting back into training? And then if a dealer says, Kyle, I need a mystery shop because I need to know what's going on, what can they expect out of RevDojo from a reporting or from an experience aspect?
Yeah, for sure. So we do our two primary ways of internet or shopping is one, internet, and we create a fresh phone number, fresh email. We do all those tedious things that make it hard to do at scale. Create a fresh name. We go to your website or a third-party website. We submit an inquiry, and then we track all the results. The phone calls, the emails, the text messages, was a video sent. We analyze all of the emails. all of the stuff that comes in, and then we give the dealer an email report. They click on it, everything opens up, and then you have all of that data there in a dashboard for the short term or the long term. That's how the internet shops work.
Love it.
For the inbound call shops, we call the dealership, hey, I'm on your website, I'm looking at XYZ vehicle, and then we grade the dealers on the most important stuff. Was an appointment set? Did they get the phone number? Did they get the email? And not to sound, I don't know a nice way to put this, probably the difference between us and all the other mystery shop companies out there, as far as I know, you got a lot of people. I've never sold a car in my entire life. But if I did, here's how I do it, and here's why you're a moron. Third generation dealers, his name on the front of the building.
Yep.
Right?
Seen some of those.
They tell the dealer everything they're doing wrong, right? Something I'm very proud of. I had a full conference room today. I had about 50 people in here. We interrupted the class twice today. You know why we interrupted the class? Hey guys, as soon as the internet lead comes in, I want to work it live.
Love it.
So we called real internet buyers, set 2 appointments live in the class, and the same stuff that we grade on the mystery shop is the same stuff that we do live. And there's that correlation there, because it's different when you actually do it. It's different when you only care about selling a car and not just checking boxes. So inbound call shops, internet shops, backed up with our training. And the way that we loop this all into the portal is if somebody flubs an internet shop, they don't do whatever they were supposed to do, we actually assign them content based on that shop, and we certify them or recertify them. Same thing with the inbound shops.
Very cool.
I think I love the fact that you brought up just calling them directly, because I mean V20 is looking to integrate the LMS into V20 solution, the vendor 20 group that we're in, and you are going to be next year's executive chairman, and we're excited about that. I know.
Heck yeah.
But I mean, like, all the technology is so strong and so good. During one of our calls, you were leading a training, you were sharing some sales tactics to all these different companies in that group, 20 different companies, and we called someone live right on the spot, got the receptionist on the phone, and we're able to get all the information needed and get things going. So I think that kind of speaks to just the relationships you're able to create. And that's a big part of what we like with the partners we recommend, is the relationship between, our dealers and then the partners that we recommend. And you have some great ones. I mean, you're behind Hudson right now. Maybe speak to that a little bit. What's a relationship like working with you and with RevDojo? What can a dealer expect if they're going to work with you or a vendor partner as you help them out too?
So with Hudson, they get to hire a homeless guy. I left my house. I may get home sometime in November. That Wyclef song, "I'll Be Gone Till November" or whatever. Remember that?
Yeah.
90s or whatever. So Hudson, they're 52 stores. We're doing regional centralized training. And so for the next month, I'm just going region to region and doing training, some other stuff in between there. But, we could do virtual training. We do in-person training. We have a couple hundred-ish employees now. I think we're at like 193. But I do all the in-person training myself for the most part. We have one other trainer. And it just so we just customize with how the dealer wants to do the relationship. You want online training? Great, let's go. You want in-person training? Great, let's go. So we do both.
I love it, man. And I think you can tell that you're passionate about it. And I was actually on that call with V20 where Kyle did the cold call, and that takes some guts on itself too. Not a lot of people are willing to do that, which is one of the things I love about you, is your just willingness to be out there and actually do the job. Like, not everybody's willing to do it. And speaking of jobs, right? Like, one of the elements of RevDojo, you have like kind of a hiring component too, which is obviously another struggle that dealers go through. Can you touch on, how do you help support somebody get some jobs and get qualified people in the showroom there?
So almost everything we do, the dealers asked us for. And about a decade ago, I was in the second or third biggest Ford store in the United States. And the internet director came up and they were like, "Hey, you could probably do a job fair. Let's do a job fair next week." And I was like, all right, let's and I always say yes.
We know that's right. Yeah.
Later. And it was weird. So we got about 50, 60 candidates to show up in person. And then we did this job fair and they hired a bunch of people. And it just kind of caught on. If somebody doesn't know me and they call me, they're like, "Hey, you're that company that gets like 200 people there in a day and I could hire a bunch of people." So we have a couple different ways that we do it. I always say quality through quantity. So if a dealer needs to hire salespeople, it works with tech and advisors and stuff too. We rent a banquet room like the one you see here.
Very cool.
We get a couple hundred people to roll through, and the dealer picks up 10 to 20 people. It works with groups too. So we do a lot of hiring. I'm doing 1 or 2 of those. That's the other thing I'm doing this month, in addition to the Hudson thing. And then we also have a remote version of that for the higher level positions, GMs, GSMs, techs, where we do it virtually. We get on, we scrub the resume, and then our team could do a qualification, and then we just set up a one-on-one Zoom. Or if it's like a technician, we just send the people in. So big group job interview, you get a couple hundred people in a room. Or for the specialty positions, we do it virtually and we weed them out. It's funny. People that you would never, ever call in a million years, they got the worst resume you've ever seen. They walk in, they're polished, they're just out of school, and they're like, you're a superstar. And then you get some resumes where somebody sounds polished, their resume looks polished, and they show up in flip-flops and a football jersey. It's weird. There's just something about having everybody there where it's like, let's just see what you look like.
I love that. Absolutely. Very cool.
Yeah, we've seen that work. I mean, we did one actually just about 2 miles from our office. We walked over, and I mean, there was just a giant crowd there, and I mean, everyone at the dealership was so excited about the results, and it's just fun to see. So, well, Kyle, I mean, we like to keep these short and sweet, digestible, so you know we can get a lot of watchability out of them, and people can see everything RevDojo is doing in a very short little video. So we're going to end this one, but before we do. How do people get a hold of you? You know, we endorse what you guys are doing. You know, if someone wants to get a hold of Kyle or RevDojo, how do they do so?
So before I get into that, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. You guys are one of the only companies I work with. I work with a lot of tech companies. All I got to do is say, hey, can you check out this company's technology? And multiple people that I'm friends with at the agency and dealership level have called me back and have been like, whoa. So kudos to you guys for all you're doing out there.
Thanks,
Not
man.
only are you guys, you know, super innovative on the tech side, you guys are so giving and you build such great relationships. So kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm still on MySpace. That's where you find me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be.
Compare the innovation of MySpace.
RevDojo.com. My email is easy. It's Kyle@RevDojo. And holla, you want hiring, training, mystery shop. Oh, we're doing BDC now. We do the outsourced BDC for about 50 stores.
Very cool.
Do a pretty good job. And if you call me and I could do it, I'm going to say yes. If I can't do it, I'll find you someone that can, no matter what you need.
I love it. A man of many talents. Kyle, thanks so much for being on with us today, man. We're super appreciative of you, your partnership, and everything you're doing in the industry for your dealers today.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.